walls were broken down, Jerusalem laid in ruins, nothing was working out. And a man got a vision to change the story, Nehemiah. And he went there with his, with the other Jews that had the same burden to begin to rebuild, the city. His main opposition, Sambalas, Tobias, and Co., do you know what they said? They were troubled that someone came to look after the welfare of the citizens. That was their issue. So anything that would ensure the citizens of a country do not have access to basic welfare, is to keep them down. And by keeping them down is to take away their voices. And when you take away their voice, you've taken away their identity. You've taken away their strength. So there has been a calculated, deliberate, consistent attempt by the politicians in Nigeria not to empower the average Nigerian citizen so that they would never have a voice to challenge them and to demand for the rights that is due them. And that really needs to change. That's why the Nigerian, because of poverty, it doesn't matter whether the politician delivers or not. The moment he sees him, he's seeing a ticket to his meal for the day. And not too many of them are principled enough to say that I will not bow down before this one because he has not looked after my welfare. So we really do have an issue in Nigeria.
But then, okay, go ahead.
Yes, so what should the people be doing? Should they just sit down in this poverty that they have been thrown and just accept whatever is dished out to them?
Absolutely not, Alero. I don't think the people should just sit down and receive what is dished out to them by the leaders. But, prior to this segment of your program, I was listening, and all over the states that the news item came on, you will find that thousands, hundreds and thousands of PVCs have not been collected in literally almost all the states in Nigeria. And that basically is a reflection of the state of the hearts of Nigerians. A lot of Nigerians have gotten to a point where they are really giving up. Why are they giving up? Because they don't believe that their PVCs will make a difference. They believe that the election will be rigged. They believe that they don't have the strength. They believe they don't have any voice. So why even bother to vote? So these are the things that we must, begin to address. Nigerians cannot sit back and just receive what is given to them by politicians. Nigerians and the average Nigerian citizen must get up and be ready to fight for their future, fight for their children, fight for their houses, fight for their destinies. And unfortunately, or fortunately or unfortunately, the only way to do that now is through the PVC. So we really do have to convince them that this is about fighting for your life. This is about fighting for your future. Irrespective of what the outcome would be, let it be known that when it came, I was involved, I participated, I made a decision, and my PVC is my voice to fight for my children, my future, my destiny, to fight for a better Nigeria. We are better than this, and we are greater than this, and we all need to come collectively, but we must find a way to help Nigerians come out of the disillusionment, because basically everyone is so disillusioned about even the electoral process, and they don't think they are going to get a fair deal. And that's why they are not picking up their PVCs. It's like, as far as they are concerned, the results have been determined even before the election. So why should I waste my time?
Okay, the other side of it is, in looking at the situation here, do you think picking up the PVCs, going out there to vote, can fix the leadership situation in the country? Would that make a difference?
It's one of the ways of fixing the leadership problem. It is not the only way, but it's one of the available tools we have to address the leadership problem, and we must do that. Why? Because with our PVC, I can say I am voting for X because I realize that Mr. X or Mrs. X has a heart for the people, has a heart for the country. I can say that he or she truly loves Nigeria and Nigerians. I can say that this person is not interested in just enriching himself or herself. And that's what my PVC would say. And it will be recorded that I did make a right decision for the right Nigerians to lead us. Remember, I said to lead us, not to rule us, because there's a difference between the two. So that's one way. The other way would be to demand accountability after such people are in office. They are accountable to the citizens of this country with how they lead. I have a right to know what you have done with the funds allocated for my development, for education, for health, for roads. I have a right to ask you. We have politicians that take offense because they are asked to give an account of allocations given to them. That is ridiculous. That even shows that they do not understand what leadership is all about. That's another way. One other way we can look at, and I truly believe in this, is that nobody should be allowed into any leadership position in Nigeria without going through a leadership school of governance. Because the truth of the matter is, how many people who find themselves in leadership understand what leadership is all about, understand their roles and their responsibilities? Do we have a school of government in Nigeria that people can go to and learn what it means to govern before they are elected? So that is part of the requirement for you to occupy a position. Do we have that? We don't. Not that I know of. If we do, then it will be great. I mean, I stand to be educated and informed on that. And even if we do, how many of the people we have, for example, in the Senate, in the House, that have gone through that school? So what template are we really using for leadership in Nigeria? That's the question to ask. So coming back, the PVC is only one tool. There are so many other things we must begin to think of as a nation and to put in place if we are truly the giant of Africa, the giant of the whole world that we are meant to be. It's really sad and heartbreaking. Our positions in all kinds of indexes, we're now the poverty capital of the world. And yet in the Forbes book of billionaires, you see Nigerian names there. And then we still don't have basic amenities in the country.
Now, Mrs. Ibanga, you spoke earlier about confidence in the process and that many people are not picking up their PVCs because they don't believe that their vote counts. But we understand that our elections have improved from one to the next. 2015 was an improvement on 2011, and therefore we expect that 2019 will be an improvement on 2015. And for that reason, well, we surmise that more people are getting involved in the process of electing our leaders. Is it that you do not believe that this is true?
Well, I must agree with you that there has been a lot of improvement. And yes, and I think this time, more than any other period in the electoral period process of Nigeria, I've seen a lot of people involved that otherwise had nothing to do with the electoral process in time past. And so more people are getting involved. It is fantastic. Every Nigerian should really be involved. But some of the indicators that are giving cause for concern. For example, the refusal of the president to assent to the electoral bill, even the issues that happened at some of the earlier elections that took place